Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome. Hello, to be on the safe side, whatever time zone you're in. This is Lynn from LEN Live Chat, Learn English Network Live Chat, and it was a nice sunny morning start, but it's been grey and cloudy now. What is it about live chat that I seem to, the last few weeks, it's just been grey and cloudy? It's sounding like I'm still living in England, but as you know, I'm stuck in the middle of Germany. So, there's a little theme tune to today's start to live chat. It's got to be perfect. Perfectionism. Sorry about that. It's too early, isn't it, to listen to me singing or caterwauling. And I sang it because April joined us last week, right after I'd recorded live chat, to say, I have listened to your long recording, Lynn. Love that word, long. Yeah, 45 minutes is a long time to listen. You don't have to listen to it all at once, you know. Thanks, it's lovely. You're welcome, April. However, for some reasons, a couple of messages are skipped, right? Okay, so this is a lovely sentence. Because what you can say here is, however, for some reason, we always say for some reason. Don't ask me why, it's just always singular. For some reason, a couple of messages have been skipped, right? Or you have skipped a couple of messages, right? I mean, they are not read. Okay, I mean, you didn't read them. Yeah, read. Okay, and it's not because the messages are still pending, because you have answered to the messages too. Strange. Okay, it might be that people carried on the conversation after live chat. Okay, this does happen. It looks like it was in the same time, but once live chat is recorded, I don't go backwards. Otherwise, I'd never get forwards. But I replied, it's probably me. I do try to follow the threads as closely as possible, but... And Zeb came rushing to my defence. Thank you, Zeb. Two computers to follow, the past and present on discuss, plus dealing with a few disconnected conversations for whatever reasons. I wonder how Lynn manages not to miss more than a couple of messages. And April said, yeah, but I expected perfectionism from Lim, Zeb. Hee hee, ha ha, ho ho, hum hum. And I replied, you should know better, April. April then replied, sorry, Lynn. But she put a smiley, so I don't think she meant it. And Zeb went, you can just be unsatisfied when you aim for perfectionism. My suggestion, forget about it. Exactly, Zeb. And how many times have people said to me, I want to speak perfect English? And I'm like, oh, I don't know anybody who does that. Not even the Queen, by the way. She's changed her way of speaking over the years. And yeah, perfectionism is overrated. There's no such thing as perfect. There will always be a flaw, and it's the flaws that make it interesting. So April then replied, I can't help it. Can't help it, help. And Zeb then went, and April hasn't replied to this, by the way, may I ask you the last thing you did that was perfect? I mean, as a perfectionist, it might be hard to finish anything and get some satisfaction of a job. Okay, here you'd say, and get some satisfaction out of a job, or get satisfaction from a job. And again, exactly, I couldn't do live chat if it was going to be perfect, because goodness knows, I have to skip backwards and forwards and from computer screen to computer. And never mind the two computers here, main computer, laptop, I've got 4 browsers open, so it's all a bit mad. Oh, and that's not accounting the actual recording software that I've got open that I have to control. So, if I sound exhausted at the end, you'll know why. So, let's see. After that, we had a lovely chat from Zeb. And it was aimed at Tot, who I'll call Tot. Should call you M&M, actually, going by your blue M&M avatar, which is really cute, by the way. So, Tot, I have listened to some K-pop. And if you remember last week, there was a lovely discussion between Zeb, Tot, and a couple of other people about dance. I think Amatsu joined in as well, about dance, keeping fit, ballet, and they mentioned K-pop, which I think is Korean pop. So Zeb's obviously taken that and quite sensibly thought, I want this to be read out loud, so I'm going to make a new thread. Because if she'd just added it to the last week's thread, I wouldn't be reading it. You're very clever, Zeb. Very clever indeed. So, Tot, I have listened to some K-pop, especially EXO, 2&1 and Taeyang. I think you meant especially to some K-pop, comma, especially EXO 2 and 1 and then a space and Taeyang, I think, unless there's a Korean band called 2 and 1 and, which there could possibly be. I have no idea. Now I have an idea of what K-pop music and dancers are. Okay. I think you could improve that just to say, now I have an idea of what K-pop music is and what the dancers are. Okay, just separate the two, because although they kind of go together, maybe K-pop music and its dancers, because they are specific style, and its style of dance, maybe. Lots of ways of skinning a rabbit, as my mother would say. Elfish don't listen. And I don't think she listens to this, or I hope she doesn't listen to this, but it just means there's more than one way to write a sentence, okay, and more than one way to express yourself, okay? English is not math. So, Tot then replied to Zeb and said, "Yay! Happy to see that you have tried to listen to the K-pop music and dancers." Okay, so happy to see that you have tried to listen to K-pop music and its dance moves and watch its dance moves and learn its dance moves, maybe. We don't know, Tot. Zeb might have been dancing around her room. You are a good attitude toward learning new stuff. Okay. You have a good attitude towards learning new stuff. Absolutely, Tot. That's why Zeb's a successful language learner, by the way. People are always going on about, I wish I could speak like Zeb, and I work like Zeb. So, I should try this attitude when I meet anything that I'm not familiar with. Really good, Tot. Okay, just one thing. I capitalised, yeah? First person singular I is always written with a capital letter. Okay? Anyhow, then Zeb came back and said, maybe if I had bumped into you in South Korea, you would have taken me somewhere to listen to some K-pop live. It's what I love about travelling. You can never know what you're going to learn and how you'll learn. I used bump because I've been told that in South Korea people like to bump into each other all the time. Here in France the rule is to avoid collision even when it's overcrowded. And that really surprised me, so I said, in the UK if someone bumps into us we apologise. As in, somebody bumps into me, I would say, oh, sorry, which is crazy because they bumped into me. It's just the way we are. In France, said Zeb, people who apologise all the time tend to get on your nerves. Zeb, I would get on your nerves. I'm sorry, I would. Sorry about that. Tot then said, I would like to take you around to listen K-pop music, but actually I'm not a Korean. I'm just learning K-pop dancing. So, Tot, I would like to take you around to listen to some K-pop music, but actually I'm not a Korean. I'm just learning to dance K-pop style, or I'm just learning K-pop dancing, maybe. I don't know if it is called K-pop dancing. Maybe it is. I agree. Korean like to bump into each other when I travelled there many years ago. I hope something different now. Okay, so what you can say there is, I agree. Koreans like to bump into each other. I noticed this when I travelled there many years ago. I hope it's changed now. Yep, we can open our eyes through travelling, but it takes time and money. I'm so jealous. I agree, Tot. I'm jealous of Zeb too. So you could say our eyes can be opened through travelling, but it takes time and money. I'm so jealous. Zeb then said, working provides me with money, and for time I take breaks. You can do it. Hey, absolutely. Some jobs aren't that flexible though, Zeb. And if you're frightened of losing your job if you take a long time off, then you're a bit stuffed. Todd said, right, I will try. And Zeb said, what would be your next travel destination then? You could just say, what would be your next destination then? And Tot said, Korea is a good choice. I can enjoy shopping there. So again, first person, I capitalised. What sort of shopping, said Zeb? Clothes, technology, music? And Tot said, clothes, cosmetics, and music, of course. Zeb then went, the whole lot, lol. Compared to your country, what makes Korea more attractive for shopping? So, not compared to your country, compared. Compared to your country, or compared with your country, what makes Korea so attractive for shopping? It's a trend for shopping there, said Tot. We have more choice, which is cheaper, that make us crazy. Okay. Then you could say your first part of the paragraph, first sentence was perfect, but you could say there is more choice and it's cheaper. It drives us crazy. And Zeb went, you can easily go there? Is Korea a neighbouring country and you just have to cross the border when you crave for shopping? So, is Korea a neighbouring country you just have to cross the border when you crave some shopping? And Tot said, I need to take a flight over there. Not so close to me. It's not so close to me. Okay. Bad luck, said Zeb. When you say shopping in Korea, you mean Seoul? And Tot said, right, not North Korea. It may be dangerous to us. Not to us, for us. It may be dangerous for us. Zeb then said, what is your favourite shopping place there? Dongdaomen? Oh, you did this deliberately, Zeb. So let's try this. Dongdaomen, Itaewon, Ewa, Hongdae, Garoskulidai, Apgujeong. I have no idea if I pronounced those correctly. Tot, I hope you enjoyed that. I think if I went shopping in Seoul, said Zeb, I'd go with friends, not on my own. Tot then said, yeah, sometimes we need friends when we're shopping, especially when we can make the decision on our own. Do you mean especially when we can't make the decision on our own? BTW, by the way, I think Dongdaomen is famous for shopping in Seoul. Ooh. On the website I was looking at, said Zeb, they say Dongdaomen Market is the mecca of domestic Korean fashion. I don't know Korean brands. Still on music. I don't know Korean brands, but I love their clothing style. It's colourful and vibrant. I think you mean their clothing style or their fashion style. It's colourful and vibrant. Very good. They also say it can be hard for some to find perfectly fitted clothes. Seems like there are mainly small sizes. Ah, not perfectly fitted, but perfectly fitting clothes, or clothes that fit. Oh dear, I think I'd be in trouble. Tot said, yep, their fashion trend are slim cut, which are suitable for Asian people. So, yep, their fashion trend is slim cut, which is suitable for Asian people. May be difficult to find larger size for European people. So, it might be difficult to find larger sizes for European people, and European, capital E. Zeb then said, I agree. We, most Westerners, would be better off changing our diet. Ouch! Job time, bye! And Tot went, see you! And, oh, Tot actually corrected herself. Sorry, mistyped. Okay, when we can't make. Okay, not sure where that came from, so never mind. Mistyped sounds like it's a person. Mistyped is one word, okay? Hello, my name's mistyped. No, mistyped. So M-I-S-T-Y-P-E-D, I think. Let me just check that. Just one S and one word. Okay, so it's funny trying to spell words in your brain. Unless you've got a pen and paper in your hand, it's difficult. So then Zeb went, you can edit your text to correct it on Discuss. There's an edit button under your messages. Exactly, you can. Use this power wisely. Okay, so let's scroll up and we've got a nice little long conversation here. Started by Zeb again, but taken from one of the sections on the English magazine, which is part of the network, about called the News Roundup, where we look at the week's news in sort of little short snippets. So it's actually from News Roundup number 80. Let us know that Brits don't like eating fish. So News Roundup number 80 tells us that Brits don't like eating fish. And then she's got a little extract from it. Take it away. It would appear that many Brits can't stand eating fish. A survey for Loch Fyne Seafood and Grill chain reports that the smell, look and texture put people off eating fish. And then Zeb goes on to say, methinks that no Brits will ever try eating a stinkhead. Stinkheads are fish heads that are buried in the ground to ferment for a few weeks, then dug up and eaten. It's a dish in Alaska. I love fish, and you? And Oana came on and said, I like fish too. All kinds of fish. less the raw fish. In Italy, I've tasted almost all kinds of fish. So not so much. I did actually reply to this one. It's not so much less the raw fish. It's apart from. Okay, if you've got two things and then you take one thing away, then you've got one thing less that thing you took away. But if you like something, but not something within that group of somethings, then it's apart from. So I like chocolate apart from chili chocolate, which I've tried and I really don't think it's all it's cracked out to be. It's nice in gravy. Yes, I put chocolate in gravy. You'll have to have a look at some of my recipes. Weird and wonderful. I put beer in pancakes too. So you'd say, I like fish too, all kinds of fish apart from raw fish. You could say apart from sushi, because sushi is sort of synonymous with raw fish now. You know how we like to take words from other languages. Sushi's one of them. In Italy, I have tasted almost all kinds of fish. Oh, you're so lucky, Oana. I'm stuck in the middle of Germany, and we're so far from the sea. I love going to the seaside now. Contrary to you, said Zeb, I'm really into raw fish. I especially like eating a dish called chirashi, but I have to go to Japanese restaurants for it. At home, I usually prepare marinated mackerels. Ooh, I don't think you spell mackerels like that. Is that the French spelling for mackerels? Our English mackerels are M-A-C-K-E-R-E-L-S. Okay. Oana then said, I like marinated fish, but I never tasted marinated mackerels. Ah, well done, Oana, you spelt it correctly. And you'd say, but I have never tasted. Yeah, because I'm sure if you ever meet Zeb, she's going to insist that you taste these marinated mackerels. I think we call them roll mops. Maybe we'll get to that in a minute, I can't remember. I like seafood salad. I also tasted raw tune, but I don't like it at all. What about you? Do you like raw tune? Okay, I think you mean tuna. Okay. So it'd be I have also tasted, again, in your life. Your life's not over. It can change, so we use that present perfect. I have tasted raw tuna. I have also tasted raw tuna, but I don't like it at all. What about you? Do you like raw tuna? And Zeb came back and quite rightly said, I think you mean tuna fish. And again, you don't need to add fish after tuna. It's a fish. It's like codfish. We just say cod. Cod and chips. You don't say cod fish and chips. Okay, so it's just fish and chips or cod and chips. Haddock and chips, plaice and chips, all sorts of fish you can have with your chips. Okay. And Zeb went on to say, cooked tuna fish is too dry to my taste, but I like it raw. So you'd say there, cooked tuna is too dry for my taste, but I like it raw. When I go for a chirashi, I always order the dish with a variety of fish, including tuna. And then she said, you said that you like seafood salad. I can imagine a seafood platter with oysters, but no oysters in a seafood salad. What's in your seafood salad? It's probably prawns there, but Oana hasn't come back to you on that yet. Maybe she will this week. I replied to Zeb's original question, I love fish and you, with my favourite answer, it depends. I mean, fish is like such a huge topic, and it's one of the really difficult food items to get into your head as a language learner. You can generally get the meats, but you come to fish, there are so many different varieties of fish. You're never quite sure what you're ordering when you're in a restaurant, or if you go to the fishmongers, you sort of have to point out that one, because it doesn't look so ugly. Zeb then said, depends on what? And it depends on the kind of fish, I will reply now. Sorry, I didn't notice that. Depends on what fish. Depends on the fish. Okay. And it depends on how it's cooked as well, by the way. Amatsu replied to the question, Zeb, I'm eating my tea. I like fish and prefer to have the head on, but definitely not if it's a few weeks old. Yuck. Yes, that idea of stinkfish is not nice. And Zeb went, as I said to Alwind, it's just fermented food, like, for example, sauerkraut. Bon appetit. I don't like sauerkraut either, by the way. See, I'm not a German. You can tell, can't you? Amatsu then said, but the smell. Exactly. We've quite smelly, said Zeb, stinky for some people, cheeses here in France, and I eat them. Some food are very smelly, but when you eat it, it's not what your taste buds say. I wonder if the smell of stinkheads would put me off. Okay, so here you've got a nice little mixture of countable, uncountable. And you've put, we have quite smelly cheeses here in France. Well, normally cheese is singular, it's uncountable. But you can say cheeses when you mean types of cheese or kinds of cheese, which is so that's fine. Some food are very smelly. You actually went on to say, but when you eat it, it's not. Okay, so it's some food is very smelly, but when you eat it, it's not. Okay, Amatsu then said, yes, I have tried the cheeses. Well, not all of them, but I don't think I could try stinky fish. April then replied to Zeb's original question, I love fish and you, with I don't, Zeb. I only eat fish because scientists keep nagging that people have to eat fish at least twice a week. So here you'd say keep nagging us, or keep nagging people to eat fish at least twice a week. I only eat fish once in 2 weeks, though, or even less. I think what you want to say is, I only eat fish once every 2 weeks, comma, or even less. I hate the bones, she says. Not that I have ever had a fish bone in my throat, but I sometimes have a frog in my throat. Lol. Okay. The Queen, I replied, the Queen Mother, nearly choked on a fish bone. I find bones off-putting, but if you buy the right cut of fish, you can make sure it's been properly filleted. I like a nice whole trout cooked in butter and almonds, but a friend of mine won't eat it unless the waiter cuts the head off first. She thinks the fish is looking at her. And Zeb then said, not seeing the head of the fish doesn't change the fact that she's eating the fish. Is she living in denial? Oh yeah, she's living in her own country called denial, absolutely. I won't tell you some of the other things. Going out eating with some of my friends is quite an experience. Arwind popped in here and said to April about not eating fish, excuse me, April, and April should be capitalised, Arwind, because it's her name, even though she doesn't capitalise it in Discuss itself. But what do you mean when you put lol in any sentence? Thanks. Zeb replied to Alwind, lol is for laughing out loud, although it seems that a few people may use it for lots of love. I used to think it meant lots of love, and I used to think people were lolling me and sending me lots of love, and then I realised they were laughing at me, which was heartbreaking. Then Zeb replied to April about not liking fish, are you a meat eater? And April said, I must say about 3 or 4 days a week I have meat on my plate. It could be Chateaubriand or meatballs or lambs or chicken meat, and the other day I choose egg or fish or just vegetables. So it could be Chateaubriand or meatballs or lamb or chicken. Okay, and because you're talking about meat, you don't have to say chicken meat, okay, and don't say lambs because that would be a lot of meat. I'll have 3 lambs, please. Meh. So, or lamb or chicken meat. So once it's turned into meat, it becomes uncountable. If you say lambs, you're talking about the frisky, cute little creatures that made me want to be vegetarian. And on the other days, I choose egg or fish or just vegetables. The scientist's advice now to not eating red meat more than 500 grams a week. Okay, I think what I wanted to say is the scientists now advise us not to eat more than 500 grams of red meat a week. Zeb then said 500 grams of meat for 7 days? When I eat a steak, it's usually a 350 gram T-bone. Gosh! April then said, then it's about time to halve your steak, Zeb. I'm sorry. Zeb then said, nope, I'll just eat steaks less often. Actually, no large C in actually. Actually, I don't eat that much meat except when I'm in Oz. Ah, yes, travelling. You tend to eat more richer food as well when you're travelling. Alwyn jumped into the conversation and said, me too, April. Again, April, capital A. It's the same for me. I ate the meal 3 or 4 days a week, not more. I ate the meal? I eat meat 3 or 4 days a week, not more. And then comma, but I like vegetables so much. So I, capital I. I like to eat tomatoes, saladi, and more. Or is that salade? Salad, no E at the end, okay? Otherwise it's salade or saladi. I like to eat tomatoes, Tomatoes, salad, S-A-L-A-D, and more. I like the fish too, but not stinkhead. So not I like the fish. I like fish too, because fish is uncountable when you're talking about the food. So I like fish too, but not stinkhead. Do you like sauerkraut, Alwind? Asked Zeb. Like stinkhead, sauerkraut is let to ferment for quite a long time before you can eat it, except that sauerkraut is a cabbage. Okay, so like stinkhead, sauerkraut is left to ferment for quite a long time before you can eat it, except that sauerkraut is a cabbage. It is indeed. Pickled cabbage, fermented pickled cabbage. Yum! So Alwind went, oh no, Zeb, I don't know it. At the north of Italy, usually eat a lot of cabbage and I like it, but I never eat sauerkraut. Do you have any picked of them? Okay, so here, again Alwind, Zeb capitalised because it's her name. Oh no, Zeb, I've never heard of it. Yeah, I don't know it. I don't know him. I don't know her. But it's a thing. You can't really get to know a thing. Hello, Mr. Sauerkraut. How are you? No, I've never heard of it. In the north of Italy, Italy with a capital I, we usually eat a lot of cabbage, comma, and I like it, capital I. But I have never eaten sauerkraut. Do you have any pictures of it? Again, not them. Sauerkraut is a thing, and I think, as far as I know, it's uncountable because there's so much of it in Germany you can't actually count it. We do call it sauerkraut, even though it's a German sauerkraut. It's a German name. We actually still call it sauerkraut. And Zeb pointed Alwyn to a picture of it. Here you are. And Alwyn said, of course, Zeb, that is like as than I token. Of course, Zeb, capital X. That's what I imagined, maybe? No idea. You definitely get a triple question mark there. Like as than I token, Zeb replied. Oops, Alwind, I can't understand what you mean. That's where you can put 3 question marks. We know what they stand for, but they don't actually say it. Excuse me, Zeb, said Alwind, it was a big mistake of mine. Now I'm playing my new bass guitar and my mind is going far. Okay, you could say my mind is wandering, okay? Because you're not concentrating. You're a musician, said Zeb. How many different instruments can you play? Oh no, said Alwind. In true, I'm a beginner. I love music more. Now I'm trying to play my guitar. Oh, guitar bass. So, oh no, Alwind. In truth, I'm a beginner. Or to tell the truth, I'm a beginner. Capital I. Sometimes you're capitalising, sometimes not. So you're getting there, Alwind. I love music so much. Right now, I'm trying to learn to play my bass guitar. What music are you learning to play right now? Asked Zeb. I'm learning the most simple music to play right now because now I'm a beginner and I can't play any kind of music. Really good, Alwind, if you'd only put capital I. Okay, because now capital I, I'm a beginner, and capital I can't play any kind of music. And then you could add yet, comma, yet. Do you play any musical instruments? Just one question mark, Alwind. Otherwise, you're sort of saying, I don't understand. No, when I was a kid, said Zeb, I was part of a marching band and played the bugle. It has only 4 notes, so I've never played anything harmonious. You're learning all by yourself, or do you take music classes? Alwyn said, the bugle is a beautiful instrument, beautiful with 1 L, okay? And with it you can play more kind of music, above all the jazz, Miles Davis, the soul, the blues, the funk, Marcus Miller. I like it. Okay, so the bugle is a beautiful instrument, 1 L on beautiful, and with it you can play more kinds of music. Above all jazz, Miles Davis, and that should be capital M, capital D, soul, the blues, funk, and again Marcus Miller, capital M, capital M, and then comma, capital I, like it. Good. I'm learning all by myself, he went on to say, with a book and 2 CDs. And I do it only for enjoy and not for work. Okay, I do it only for enjoyment and not work. I'll hope to play music with my friends who are just play the piano, the sax, the acoustic guitar and electric guitar. So I think you're talking about the future, a wish of yours, Alwyn. So you'd say, I hope to be able to play music with my friends. They just play the piano, the sax, the acoustic guitar and the electric guitar. If I will be famous, I'll put in your hands my first signed CD. So if I become famous, I'll give you a copy of my first CD signed. And then Zeb said, you'll have to tell us when you play your first gig. Absolutely, we could all meet up, couldn't we? That would be so much fun. Anyhow, April came back to fish. I ate this fish yesterday. And she's put a post, a link in the post. My dictionary says that the name is smeltfish. It's the first time I ate it, and it will be the last too. So, oh dear, not that good, eh? It's the first time that I've eaten it, and it will be the last too. Alwyn then said, the smelt fish is like as fries fish. In Italy, the name of smelt fish is frittura di pesci. So, smelt fish is like fried fish. In Italy, capital I, for Italy, the name of smelt fish is frittura di pesci. I never heat it often, but I like it above all in summer and when it is matched with white wine. Okay, I never heat it. Does that mean you eat it cold, or do you mean I don't eat it often, or I don't often eat it? But I, capital I, like it most in summer, especially when it's matched with white. I think you mean wine. Okay, vine is what the wine grows on. The grapes grow on the vine, then you pick the grapes and you make wine. I wrote, I prefer white wine. Oh, I must have been sarky. Sorry about that. Have you ever tried fried sardines, Alwyn, said Zeb. Zeb, why are you putting a D in Alwyn's name? You're putting Oldwind. It's quite a popular dish the further you go south in France. It's quite a popular dish the further south you go in France. Yes, of course, said Alwind. I tried fried sardines. Oh, sardinis, you've written. I like it, but not every days. Okay. Yes, of course, I've tried fried sardines. sardines. I like it, capital I, but not every day. Okay, not days, not all the days of the week, but no, you would never say that, not every day. I live in a sea town and the fish is one of most popular dish. Okay, I live in a sea town and fish is one of our most popular dishes. Do some fishermen, said Zeb, sell their fish just right off their boat, selling their fish just after getting to shore? So, Zeb, I think you wanted to ask Alwind if do some fishermen sell their catch right off the boat, just after getting to shore? And April also jumped in and said, really, Alwind? Yes, they look good in the counter. That was why I had bought it. Okay, really, Alwind? Yes, they looked good on the counter, which is why I bought them. However, I was really disappointed about this smelt fish. Alwyn then said, my thought is then you like more meal and vegetables than fish, but the fish is good for men's health. Do you agree? So, Alwyn, I think that you like meat and vegetables more than fish, but fish is good for men's health. Do you agree? Zeb then said, maybe you should ask Alwind to give you his recipe to prepare it, April. And Zeb also asked April, what have you got against eating smelt fish? April replied, first of all, it rarely has any taste, like the most of fish, in fact. Okay, you'd say like most fish, in fact. Secondly, only the half of it is edible, for me at least. So, secondly, only half of it is edible, for me at least. And that bit in brackets would be included in the sentence, full stop at the end. The skin, the bones, the tail, and something like guts inside are for the garbage. So Zeb then said, when you go to buy some fish, you can ask for it to be gutted and scaled, can't you? April said, yes, you're right, Zeb, but this time I bought these as fried fish because I hate frying them myself. And Zeb asked, but how did you warm them up once back home? April then said, I mostly warm them up in a frying pan, without oil though. They will not be as crispy as they should be, but I have to choose one or another, right? Zeb then said, they can just end up very dried. I'm happy I wasn't your guest for lunch today. Oops, no, not really, April. I hope I haven't offended you. Have I? April then said, oh no, I'm just multitasking, watching The Bold and the Beautiful, hee hee. Don't worry, Zeb, I'm kind of expert at warming food up. So, don't worry, Zeb, I'm kind of an expert at warming food up. Phew, said Zeb, I feel much better. My diplomatical skills are still budding ones. So, my diplomatic skills are still budding. The Bold and the Beautiful, never heard of it. Is it a series? En français, it is Amour, Gloire et Beauté. A disgusting TV series, actually, which I'm addicted to. So, a disgusting TV series, actually, comma, which I'm addicted to. I know the French title, said Zeb. In this kind of soap operas, when you miss an episode, you can easily catch up as the story unfolds itself in slow motion. So, in this kind of soap opera, these kind of soap operas, this kind of soap opera. Get it? And I quite agree. Soap operas, great for practicing your language though, because they have a continuous storyline, continuous characters, you get used to them and you can watch them for years, and genuine kind of pronunciation and accents, kind of, I say, because it's still scripted, so they still sound as if they never don't know what to say. Unlike real English speakers who will their way through sentences. True, said April, sorry. The only advantage is that sometimes I learn some new words or expressions in English or in French because I watch both versions. Okay, so here you'd want to say I watch both versions. Yeah, versions. Okay. OMG, oh my god, or oh my goodness, said Zeb. Well, each one their own learning style. Bye for now, April, I'm turning in. So, each one to their own learning style. Everyone has their own learning style. At least I now know where April's getting all her Americanisms from. And April said, sleep well, Zeb. So that was that for that particular very long, very interesting conversation. Well done, guys. And lots of you joining in, which is great. And it all started with fish. That's what I mean about people who come to me and say, what's the topic today? You don't get topics in conversations, not natural conversations. They flow and you need to have lots of vocabulary to be able to keep up. So let's see. Okay, I've got to scroll quite a way up, and Calidino said hello to everyone. Matsu said hello Calidino. April said hello Calidino. Hello to Calidino. And Calidino then asked, can I start this phrase here and now in the beginning sentence? So, can I start a sentence with here and now at the beginning? And I asked context. I don't, what are you trying to say? You can start a sentence any way you want. You can say, right here, right now, right here, right now. Is it correct? It depends what you carry on with. Okay, so you need to be a little bit more forthcoming, I would say. And Fekrat100 came in and said, hi, how is it going? Amatsu said, hi, Fekrat100. Lynn is absolutely right. It's Friday, so everything's fine. Hey, where did that come from? Oh, yeah, there it is. Everything is fine, I said here. It's Friday. And Amatsu said, hi, Fekrat100. Lynn is absolutely right. It's Friday, so everything is fine. April replied to my it's Friday with, are you sure, Lynn? How about the weather this Friday? I thought you said that it's not fine. And I went, that's very true, April. Everything is fine apart from the weather. Zeb replied to Fekrat, busy, as a project deadline is around the corner. How about you? And Alwyn said, oh, Zeb, you are very busy if the deadline is near to you. Okay, oh, Zeb, you are very busy if your deadline is near. I was very busy, he continued, from the last October to the last December, but now I'm relaxing. Okay, so you'd say, I was very busy from last October, O, capital O, because it's a month, C-T-O-B-E-R, to last December, capital D, because it's a month. But now I'm, capital I, relaxing. I love deadlines, I replied. I love the sound they make as they whoosh by. Thank you to Douglas Adams, I think, who originally said that. Zeb replied, the deadline is next Friday. The pressure is going crescendo, but the team I'm working with is great. Okay, the pressure is going crescendo. The pressure is increasing. Or maybe the pressure is increasing like a crescendo, because crescendo actually means to increase, okay? And then I'd be happy to hear the whoosh by sound though. Generally, if it's whooshing by, it means you've missed the deadline, so don't wish for that. You can't hear anything when you're taken in the middle of it. Yes, when you're stuck in the middle of it, I think is what you mean here, Zeb. Alwind, said Zeb, how do you relax just after a deadline? Oh, Alwind's not come back to us on that. Maybe he will. Ruchi came along and said, oh, by the way, Fekrat, hi. So Ruchi came along and said, hello, anyone help me to make me learn English? Oh dear. Okay, so can anyone help me to learn English? And English with a capital E, and because you're asking a question, question mark. I replied, nobody will make you learn it, Ruchi, but we can help you to learn it if you really want to. And I can always tell when people really want to, because they'll go, oh my goodness, somebody's replying to me, and they'll stick around. Otherwise they just go, what they basically mean is, can somebody pour English into my brain so I don't have to think about it too much? It doesn't work like that yet. Maybe in a few years' time when we can get hardwired into something that will help us learn. Till then, you just got to work at it. Anybody there to chat, said Ruchi. And Zeb came in. Hi Richie, I'm free for chatting right now, but it seems that my time frame is not in sync with yours. That is an issue on live chat, I know, because we're in bed when some of you are around, but that just means you have to log in the next day and have a long conversation. Yeah, just drag it out a bit. It doesn't have to be dup, 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 dup. That's what the chats in Skype and Second Life and Google Plus and Kitely are for. But these can go over days, weeks, months if you want to. Okay, then we had a lovely little bit of French from Zeb, because she just wants to hear me speak French so she can laugh at my pronunciation. And Zeb's helping people with some links to films and TV series and learning materials in French. So Zeb came in and said to Sarah, I'm back with a short list of French films. They're films that I've enjoyed a lot and are also renowned. Maybe and are also renowned, but maybe just and are also well known. Okay, so here we go. Un air de famille by Cédric Klapisch, Le Cité des Enfants Perdus by Jean-Pierre Jeunet, Délicatessen by Jean-Pierre Jeunet, Le Salaire de la Peur by Henri-Georges Clouzot, Les Tontons Flangueurs by Georges Lautner, Les Enfants du Paradis by Marcel Carnet. And the ones that I have been enjoying recently, they're Dupontel's movies. Neuf mois fermés, Enfermé dehors, Le Vilain, Bernie. Do you like that one at the end? Bernie. Hope you enjoyed that, Zeb. You're so naughty. Sarah said, Zeb, the start of Delicatessen is really scary. This is the first one I got with English subs. Ooey, ooey, ooh. So I, capital I. This is the first one I watched, and then comma with English subs, which means short for subtitles. Will you keep watching it? Asked Zeb. Sarah's not come back to us with that. I think she's too terrified. Amatsu came in, because Amatsu is also learning French. I have copied them, Zeb, to practice my French. Many thanks. Zeb then said, how are you getting on with your French, Amatsu? Do you find it easy to listen to the news and interact with people in French? And Amatsu went, it's a slow job, Zeb. I talk once a fortnight, and my friend is very kind, talks very slowly, and is very forgiving. Talks slowly and is very forgiving. I listen to the news most days, but they talk so fast I only get the gist of what they say. I try to write every other day or so. It's not enough, really. I need to live in France for a few weeks. And Zeb said, I think you might be surprised at how much French you know next time you get around France. I agree. And I also agree with Amatsu. Go there. It's only across the channel, Amatsu, because you're in England, and spend at least a week or two maybe living with a family in France. See if you can do some kind of house swap, maybe, because it's no good just staying in a hotel. It's amazing you can get by in hotels without ever speaking the language. Go somewhere small, don't go to a big city, somewhere where they'll look at you funny if you speak English. And we've run out of time this week. Yay, great! Which means we'll do 2 recordings. Okay, so if I haven't read out your text, don't worry. I will read them out later this week. So thank you so much for taking part and for creating such interesting conversations for me to read. Somebody did ask in the forum, where can I join in? And what you can do is just go to the live chat page on learnenglish.de. I will send you the link, but if you're listening to this and wondering, what the heck? It's part of the Learn English Network, and you'll find these text on the Learn English page. Look at the YouTube comments. I always put the link to the page there. Okay, so I look forward to hearing from you. And in the meantime, get out there, practice your English somewhere on the net or in real life if you can travel, and just be nice, be kind, and if you can't be good, don't get caught. Bye.